The beautiful thing about being a missionary here in Tanzania, and especially doing what I do, is being close to people and sharing life, sharing meals together, but also sometimes living together in one place. And today I'm in a village called Gole. It's in the Tanga area, in the interior of Tanzania. And Tapio and I, we are spending a couple of days here with the pastor and his church, encourage them, but also, just build relationship, have fellowship together, and pray together. But the beautiful part is also I get to experience the life that people live here, even it's not for months, but for a couple of days. I get to just really be part of their lives, and I just want to show you a little bit around here in a couple of minutes, so you will see what I'm seeing every day. First, let me show you the church, and that's the place where people worship, come together on Sundays and other days where they pray. And it's a pretty simple church, but you will love it. Here, this is the front side of the church, and we have some horn speakers here. Brought them from a different place just for us staying here. They're pretty loud, so the whole village probably hears us. Yeah, and when we get inside, you see there's a couple of chairs here. Very simple church. We also had night meetings here. One of our friends would lead worship and then share the word, and people gather here. We dance. It's such a beautiful atmosphere. Being in this simple church, but filled with the Spirit of God, with hungry people for the presence of God, and just being here really gives you like this, at least me, like this thankfulness in my heart. Just God, I get to be here in your presence with these people, deep into Tanzania, far away from my original home. But yeah, you don't need much to come into the presence of God. A building like this is enough. Of course, you can make it better as you have resources, but it's not the it's not what you need to come and worship Jesus and really make a difference in the place where you are set. So, and yeah, actually some people are sleeping here because the service goes sometimes up to 11, 12 o'clock in the night, and people are living kind of far away, so instead of going home, they just stay here. Something that unfortunately happened while the church was on a trip, they had a solar panel on the top, was sponsored by another missionary, and unfortunately they had no one to guard it, and someone came in the night and stole it. Now they don't have electricity. Hopefully soon they will attach one of the cords from the poles and have electricity. But yeah, this is a pretty simple church. They don't have many instruments to make music with, but it's always a pleasure to be there. And especially what captures my heart is the worship of the Messiah in their local language. It's always, I don't know, something about their language and the way they worship captures my heart, and I really enjoy being there in the worship. And yeah, so let me show you the house where we live in. It's also a pretty simple house for I guess for our standards, but it's actually a really good house for a village like this. Yeah, it's like a 2-room house. Isaiah and Tapio from Finland, my friends. Hey, how are you doing, guys?
Good, thank you. How about you?
You enjoying your breakfast?
Yeah, we're done. Oh, the car's still up.
planning for some good stuff for the future. He's talking about some speakers as well, and how to get the gospel out there with a clear sound.
Yes.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, Isaiah is from Tanga area, Tanga City. He's been helping us here with translation, but also he is a minister. Preaches every evening the gospel, and many people hear it. Okay, guys, and now I'm gonna show you the house. Actually, it's three rooms. I realized. So, you see, this is like a smaller room. They used it as a kitchen before we arrived, which is not perfect to be honest, because they use charcoal to make fire, and all the smoke goes inside. You see the walls; they're like dark. And Tapio and I, we actually bought them a gas tank, so now even if they cook inside, there will be no smoke coming up, which is so much healthier for them. And to refill the tank is not as expensive as buying the whole equipment. So yeah, we are thankful that we could help out. And you see, there's a mattress here. There's a few guys sleeping here. Yeah, it's a pretty simple room. There's nothing here except the mattress. But this is how people live sometimes. They don't have much. They only use this area for sleeping or cooking or storing some of their groceries, whatever they have. Something really cool I found here. One of the guys is reading a book from John Bevere. I think it's about destiny, if I remember correctly. The guy asked us about John Bevere and if he is still alive, if he is where he lives, and yeah, it was funny to just be somewhere deep in the village and someone reads a book from John Bevere, who actually influenced a lot of my mom's life. When she just became a believer, she would listen to a lot of his teachings, and here we find a book from him in Swahili. Actually, this is the national language in Tanzania. Okay, now we are entering another room. This is, I guess, this is the main room here. Right now they're using it as a storage. Sorry guys, the light is not very good. But as you can see down there, they have maize. And maize is pretty much like the staple food in Tanzania. They make like a mealy meal out of it and cook it, and it's just kind of like this solid piece of flour or mealy meal. In itself, it's not really tasty, but if you eat it with a sauce or with vegetables, it's actually pretty nice. I really enjoy it. But I wouldn't eat it every day, of course. But yeah, so you see they have like different buckets there, kitchen utensils, and that's pretty much it in this room. Like I said, like people, or I didn't say that, but houses and rooms are more used practically than for comfort, or for let's say, to rest or whatever. In my home country, in Germany, like you design your rooms as you like it, because you spend a lot of time in those rooms to rest, to enjoy, to invite people. But especially because people don't have all the resources we have, they think more practically. Even all these walls, they're not like pretty nice. They're just gray. They have no color on them. So when people, the first priority is, hey, we need space, a cover over our heads, and maybe a mattress to sleep on, and everything else is basically extra. Which in Germany, you cannot imagine like living, your life on a mattress. But here it's pretty normal, and some people even don't have a mattress. Okay, now we're entering the bedroom, or like master room. So the light is pretty bad here. We have only a single bulb there, low voltage. But yeah, this is actually the pastor's and his wife's room. They gave it to us while we were staying here, and they moved into a neighboring house for the time being. But yeah, this is actually a really nice bed that they have. You see, it's built out of bricks, so it's self-made, and it's like permanently built into the house. If you want to move it from one side to the other, you cannot do that. But yeah, you see, like it's a big bed. We just bought a new mattress for the pastor. They haven't had enough mattresses for us to sleep on, so we bought them and we'll leave it here. Bless them with a new mattress. I think they're pretty happy about it. But yeah, you have, like a space for your clothes, and then you have different buckets with different stuff in it, mostly water. So people, in order for them to get water, they have to go to a water source. It's I think here it's a well, so they have to walk a little bit and then get it, and they have to be very careful how much water they spend each day, because you have to walk. You don't have pipes here, and yeah, I cannot imagine living my life carrying water every day. It's takes so much time and energy, but yeah, this is real life for some people, and I know it's difficult to imagine living in a place like Germany, United States, or wherever you are in Europe. But yeah, so we have our luggage here. It's pretty comfortable, but one thing that so I'm gonna go out. Yeah, one thing that it's a little bit annoying is because there's cracks all over the roof and the ceiling. A lot of mosquitoes coming in, and we have a lot of bugs in our bed. So you feel sometimes like something crawling on your skin, and you find out, oh, it's a spider or like a small bug. But it's okay. You kind of get used to it after a while. It's still not like, I believe I will never be comfortable with that, but it becomes like something that's just normal and part of your life here. But yeah, it's pretty nice, and I really enjoy staying here. Today we'll have a evangelism training with the church, and then we go out and house to house, share with people, sit down with them, and hopefully the church will adapt some of the ways we do ministry, and we'll continue with that when we leave. And guys, before I forget, I wanted to show you the way we go to the restroom, and also how we wash ourselves. Yes, Paul, you just came from the shower, let's say. But yeah, guys, you see this curtain, and behind this curtain, Paul, Ori. Okay, there's no one, but behind this curtain is just like a room, and you use a bucket, something like this. Let me show you. Something like this. You use a bucket and wash yourself with a cup. And yeah, and then this is like a toilet. I will not show you more, but you can imagine it's just like a hole in the ground. But yeah, pretty simple, but I wouldn't say it's like a better or worse life than we have in Germany. Of course, materialistically, it's different. You can say it's worse, but this is just a different way of life. And I actually struggled a little bit about with my feelings towards people when I see people living a simple life in a simple house. I would always compare myself and say, God, why do I live a better life in my perspective? I would say hey, I wasn't born rich. I was actually born pretty poor, but my life, I had a pretty easy life, and materialistically I always had everything I needed and a good house, and I would compare myself, but then I kind of catch myself that, hey, why do I think that my life was better, or why do I think these people necessarily need all those things to be happy or to be satisfied in life? And I think that it's really dangerous to think that life or people need all those stuff. Of course, it's easier. I have a lot of stuff. like a lot of electronics, you know, that make my life easier. I have this beautiful camera. I have enough money, you know, to do whatever I need to do. But it doesn't make me necessarily happier, and it will not necessarily make people happier, or even, you know, make their lives more enjoyable. And I'm all for, you know, blessing people, and I'm all for like, you know, growing uh, in the materialistical prosperity, I guess, if you want to say it this way. But also I started learning not to compare myself to how people live. And if people live in a very simple hut and this is their home, I don't want to pity them for the way they live. As long as, you know, I can share the gospel with them and they know that they find all they need in Jesus, you know, it's all they need, it's all they have. If it's all they have everything. And yeah, it's easier for me to, you know, be in a village and see, yeah, the simple life that people live, and not being almost, you know, like hurting inside and just gonna crying out, God, why? But yeah, I'm now I'm really thankful, and when I get to spend my time with people in a village like this, of course it's not comfortable for me because I'm used to live a different life, but it's always a privilege for me to just be with people and, you know, encourage them in their walk with Jesus, and not necessarily, you know, making them dream about something that I have they don't necessarily need. Yeah, just a small thought in the end. But guys, yeah, just want to show you just maybe some of a daily life, or I would say some of the behind what I do, and how I sometimes live. If you guys have questions, yeah, let me know in the comments or write me a message. And also, if you like these videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and like this video, share it with your friends. That will help me a lot to spread the message. See you next video.